Hey kids, it's Englentine with another Marvel vs. DC Comics. This time around, had a good surprise about what ended up at the top, and a little bit of a surprise at what ended up at the bottom too. Well, not huge, but at least in the 2 stars. So anyway, as you can see, covers are passing by. This is a new thing to let you know what I'm reviewing here. Both me and Chef Jack are doing this. Let us know how you like it. And, well, let's get this party started. The 1-star books are the worst of the worst, the ones you should definitely avoid. America number 6. So, the continuation from 5, we have America captured by Arcade and made to fight her ex-girlfriend because Arcade is holding the ex-girlfriend's father hostage. Now, don't forget to check out my full-length video where I go over every panel of this book, because Lord knows, America is so good, it deserves that close of a look. In all honesty, I have to say, Kelly Thompson's presence here is felt. This is not as bad as other issues. It's not even as bad as number 5. The art is horrendous. The writing is still horrible. I mean, saying it's not as bad as another issue of America is like saying, gee, you know, my appendix bursting isn't as bad as a heart attack. They're still both gonna suck. It's just one will kill you slower. Secret Empire number 10. Now, I did a full-length video on this, and by that I mean full-length. I went page to page. Check it out, because it delves into everything wrong with this book, or at least as much as I could find. That being said, let's touch on a few things here. Was the story bad? Yes. Was the concept bad? No. It just had a poor writer in Nikki Spence, little Nikki. Could it have been made better? Yes. That being said, it wasn't. Unfortunately, we had a Deus Ex Machina ending that didn't even Deus Ex Machina properly. We had Kobik come in and she replaced everything except for all the lives lost. Duh. So in the end, you gotta ask yourself, was this a horrible story? Yes. Is there anything redeemable about the book? No. The 2-star books are merely bad with some saving grace keeping them from being truly horrible. All-Star Batman number 13. I like this cover. The coloring, the lighting, and everything. That it's just done very well. It's kind of reminiscent of Highlander. And I really wish this had anything to do with what's inside the book. This, however, does have something to do with what's inside the book. And, you know, it's not bad. It's just kind of sparse. Overall, not a very exciting cover. But, you know, like I said, at least it has something to do with what's inside the book. This has, I don't even know why this is here, considering what happens. Because basically, it continues where the hotel that him and Alfred were in gets blown up, and they're falling, and Batman has to rescue them. That's the gist of what's going on as far as modern day Batman and Alfred. The stuff in the past, God, it's just so dull. I know people love this book, but so far this storyline, the First Ally, has just bored the heck out of me, and this issue did too. When it's in the modern day, it's entertaining, but anytime it goes back in the past, it just slows to a crawl. Gotham City Garage, Chapter 2. Now, the first chapter, I thought it showed promise. It was fun. It gave us a good world. It told us all about it. It really got us into the story. So, I looked forward to Chapter 2. Now, this one comes along and almost completely trashes all the goodwill of the first chapter. I really had a hard time finding anything to really care for, and I think, well, no, I don't think. I know that the main problem was we finally got to meet the Gotham City Garage Girls. Kara is a good character. She's still a good character. She's somebody we could relate to, but the rest of the cast seems to be trying to out-tough everybody. Everybody's Wolverine. You know, you need a Cyclops. You need a Jean Grey. You need a Beast. But in this one, everybody's Wolverine. Everybody wants to be the tough guy, and it really becomes very tiresome. Wonder Woman number 29. So, the big fight with the assassins that ended the book the last time. Starts right here, and I gotta tell you, the last one, at least, the last book was okay, but this one falls apart because of Etta Candy. She jumps into this fight, and she's just out of the hospital, and of course she fights like a champ until it's over, and it's like, ow! Without her, this book would have been better. Just, that is the truth of the matter. Every scene that she is in is painful to me. The way she's written, the fact that they ignore that she's been in the hospital just last issue. You know, and yeah, overall it casts a pall. This should have been a better issue, and it was a better issue in every scene that character was not in. The 3-star books are merely average. You might like them, you might hate them. For us, it just didn't move the needle. Bombshells United #1. Now, I did do a full-length review on this, and I recommend you check that out as well. Just a quick 30-second review, however. Marguerite Bennett's back writing it. Sometimes she can be ham-handed, but overall, the last Bombshells series was pretty good, and so far this is a decent start. It's not amazing. The art is at times hard to look at because it almost looks like it's just rough sketches that got colored. The writing, while it's being descriptive, is good, but whenever it turns to dialogue, it becomes cheese that is almost cringeworthy. So in the end, it's kind of a mixed bag of a series that is entertaining yet not really good yet. Now, I know the first Bombshells was entertaining and fun, and I'm hoping this gets back on track because I'm a fan of the concept. Injustice 2, Chapter 21. So, in this one, basically, it begins where the last one ended, where you have the Green Arrow and Black Canary's kid scream blasting the fake Batman into a wall, and the rest of the book is everybody rushing towards him before the bad guys get to him, or the bad guys rushing towards him. It's, what's the word? I mean, the word that's being used now is a nothing burger. I mean, it's not bad. You still watch it or read it. It's a very easy read. The art is fine. It's a good looking book. But ultimately, if there is ever a filler, this chapter is just pure filler. It is getting to the position that everybody needs to be in for the next chapter of the story, and beyond that, well, there's just not much to it. Moon Girl #22, Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur #22. Let's get that right, Englentine. Okay, anyway, this is a book that continues to baffle me as to why it gets printed. I mean, it's got low ass. It must be really good at digital sales. Now, in this one, Moon Girl's called back to the moon that she was originally there to help. And she's trying to tell, well, your father's behind you, you have to turn around, and she works on that. At the same time, at home, the family's beginning to realize that the Moon Girl bot is not actually Moon Girl. I related to that part. I don't like the idea of her traveling the universe because it just makes her parents into bad parents for not noticing. And that's just one of the things that kind of frustrates me. However, the parts with the parents are enough to keep this from a failing grade. There are entertaining moments in this book, as well as decent art, to tell you the truth. So overall, yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as I think, just as frustrating as heck. Star Wars #35 is actually a pretty good story. You have Han Solo and Chewbacca needing to bring in a Hutt that was arrested because the Rebel Alliance wants to find his weapons cache. One problem, though. In this book, they have an art style that, it's so distracting. One, they try to draw Harrison Ford to look like, or Han Solo to look like Harrison Ford, and that's fine. But occasionally they use photos on his head rather than the drawing in order to be more photorealistic. I don't know, but it's so distracting. And I want to really praise this book because the story was fun. It's entertaining. It's exactly what you want from a Star Wars story. but it's just so bad on the art front. No, just the Harrison Ford part, just the Han Solo part is bad. Everything else is fine. It's just that one thing is so distracting. Anyway. So yeah, this kind of lands right in the middle there because I can't recommend it just for the distracting art, but I can't say it was bad either. The 4-star books are good. These are the stories and comics we can actually recommend. Generations, The Archers, starring Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. I was surprised after tearing into Thor and tearing into Hulk and tearing into Wolverine especially. That one blew. I was expecting this to be bad. I was expecting it to be another, hey, let me show you how to do it, old classic guy that we don't want to promote anymore. But instead, it showed respect. Now, this is a younger Hawkeye. This is back when he was the Joker of the Avengers, and back around the 200s and such. And, of course, you have two characters who are not... Now, Hawkeye's still at his peak and such, but he's not the experienced mentor that Kate Bishop knows. And she is showing respect to him because she knows what he becomes. And I thought that really stood out. This is the best of the generation so far. Is it an incredible, excellent book? No, it's a good book. But it's definitely one worth checking out. Harley Quinn and Batman. So this is the world we're in right now, huh? Oh yeah, chapter 2, by the way. We are living in a world where Harley Quinn gets top billing over Batman. Gotta think about that one for a second. Anyway, this is one of their digital comics, and so it's one of those 99-cent chapter a week kind of things. I'm sure, you know, this is a cash grab basically to capitalize on the whole movie thing that came out a couple of weeks ago. And it's entertaining. It's, you know, it's not deep. It really is not deep at all. And it basically looks like the old animated series. If you like the animated series in the Batman Adventures comic book, that style, you're going to enjoy this. I mean, it's got a great sense of humor, and it does have the art style like the old animated series. I thought it was a lot of fun, so I can recommend it. Jean Grey #6. Wow, this is more Generations than the Generations was. She goes to Doctor Strange, so they kind of get onto the astral plane together, and she goes back to her past, and she visits younger versions of the older Jean Grey, including one where she is sitting in the mansion as a teenager. This is good. This was a really good story. I'm surprised because the whole thing so far has just been unimpressive. And yeah, I'm a little tired of the whole Phoenix thing. I said before, Jean Grey seems to have one story to tell, and they just keep telling it over and over again. However, this is a different approach, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Is it perfect? No, not really. It could have explained things a little easier, a little better. But for what's on the page, it is fun, it's interesting, and it's dramatic. Red Hood and the Outlaws #1. Guest starring Nightwing, who's called by the Red Hood to come and help him, Artemis, and Bizarro with a caper that happens at a carnival, knowing, of course, that Nightwing is circus people. And he's called in to help dress him up like an acrobatic clown style. Actually, the villain of the piece is the KG Beast, and they do all get together and battle him, which I thought, well, you know, Artemis is an Amazon and Bizarro is Bizarro, so what's the problem? Just send them in, and the other two could have a beer. Relax. But what really sells this book are the scenes where they're just sitting around a campfire talking. It's the characters that really make this book worth the price of admission. They don't need all the action. I was more interested and entertained by the dialogue between these characters, the camaraderie, than any of the action that they thought we might be interested in. And the 5-star books are the best of the best, the ones we highly recommend for the week. Dark Side Oversized Special #1. Don't forget to check out the full-length video for a review of this book so you get everything. And also check out all of the other videos because we reviewed each and every one of these Jack Kirby specials that DC has released. So this book in itself, I loved it. I really did. Now, I gotta say the Forever People story at the back and the OMAC are probably the weakest of the specials that I've read. However, they're still entertaining. OMAC ends up feeling like the chapter 2 of a 3-part story. Now, the Resistance itself is written like it's going to be an ongoing series, and I pray it is. I'd love to see the New Gods become a series again. And the Resistance here especially, because I want to see how Darkseid squashes the Resistance. I don't care if they succeed or not. I want Darkseid to win. Thanos number 10. So this is one of those books that whenever anybody says, is there anything good at Marvel Comics, I always point out Thanos has been consistently good from the beginning. And this issue elevates it. This takes it to a new level. Now, it begins as you see it here, with Thanos leading the Avengers. And I'm afraid that this segment of the book is so good that somebody's going to go, you know what, we should make a Thanos and the Avengers comic book. It'll be set in a new universe, and then ultimately it'll lead into the regular universe, because Marvel's stupid like that. They know how to take a good thing and destroy it. But contextually, how it is here, I mean, this is a spot-on story. You know, and let's not even mention the art, which needs to be mentioned. I mean, this is tight. Colors are good. Now, what really works for this book is the use of inks and shadow. I mean, the blacks are just crisp and makes everything pop. It's a great book to look at. It's a great book to lead, and it's just simply a great book. If for no other reason than it takes every pretense of Thanos becoming a hero or an anti-hero or anything like that, throws it into the bin where it deserves to be. This is the Mad Titan writ large. That's all of them, so let's see how they do by the numbers. Marvel Comics had 2 1-stars, 0 2-stars, 2 3-stars, 2 4-stars, 1 5-star, 7 comics, a score of 21, which makes an average of 3.0, a respectable average even with the presence of Secret Empire and America. DC Comics, on the other hand, had 0 1-stars, 3 2-stars, 2 3-stars, 2 4-stars, 1 5-star, 8 comics were reviewed for a score of 25 and an average of 3.13, which in my opinion makes this effectively a tie, but I mean, you know, they just eked it out. Holy Toledo. This proves that Marvel has a chance if only they would start to trim the fat a little bit. Anyway, gang, that's the roundup. What did you think? Were there books that you read that you thought I'm way off on, that I liked something I shouldn't have, or I didn't like something you liked? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, click like, share, subscribe. You know the deal. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And also head on over to Patreon or VidMe. Make sure you're catching the videos that YouTube decides to pull off. And, of course, drop $1 in the till and help us keep going making these videos. It'd definitely be appreciated. And for everybody who's done that, we'd like to say thank you. And everybody else, and them included, thank you very, very much for watching.